I'll let a few more people get up in here before I let it continue. I really don't know why it happened and why I went out. I'm gonna just say maybe they watching me. I don't know. I don't know. But anywho, I'm just let it go.
Or maybe he was just a hired gun. Maybe he was just the guy that countries would go to and park a couple $100 million and say, hey, can you get one of the members of the royal family with a 13-year-old so we can get them to do what we want to do? Members of Congress are actively being blackmailed. The Epstein playbook is being used on a daily basis. Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier. He was not a hedge fund manager. Jeffrey Epstein was a key player in a multi-decade blackmail operation against the most powerful people on the planet.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems to conflict with Bibi's narrative a little bit. Yeah, just a tiny bit. I do want to say this. It's important because I am angry. I will obviously, I pray to move on from this phase, but it's a fire in my belly right now. To those of you who think that you are going to replace Charlie Kirk, okay? Kings are born. You don't just get to depose and tell us that we're going to follow this individual, okay? I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. You put a shill in Charlie Kirk's chair, in Charlie Kirk's
I'm one of the Masons of that, is what she just said. Of Turning Point USA.
company, and you try to tell us to follow that individual, I will be an enemy of you. There will be nothing that can stop me. Okay? And I want you guys to understand, this is not a threat. This is a promise. There will be nothing that can stop me. I will release every single text message. So to those of you who are trying that, I'm seeing the messages, I am telling you to back off right now. Like right now, don't do it, okay? Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair, okay? Over my dead body, which I'm sure can be arranged. Now, I'm going to take a pause. We're going to go to some sponsors, and then we're going to get into what we are being told by the agencies. There are definitely some holes. Maybe more is coming out. First, this is fantastic that Preborn is doing this. Every heartbeat tells a story. And at Preborn, they give moms in crisis the chance to hear that heartbeat for free. And that's exactly why I partner with Preborn, because Preborn isn't out to judge women. They're making motherhood possible. They provide.
1 second, because I want to put it on the other one. I would like to put this on the other one and let it finish from that.
All right, you guys, we're going to jump right into this with no introduction. There's a lot that I would like to speak with you guys about. Can't wait to hear your feedback. A lot of lies that are being put out there, narratives.
Okay, is there a reason I can't move it up? Okay, is there a reason I can't all of a sudden?
I would say are half truths or just.
Usually I'm able to move it up. That's weird. That's very weird. Like this literally just started happening to where I can't even. Won't let me slide the video. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Let me see.
All right, you guys.
Because it did the same thing on here where it's just locked. Okay, I'll just go to her. I'm gonna go to her page real quick because for some reason, all of a sudden, my player is just absolutely locked up, and I can't move it up.
That are.
It's kind of weird.
Code Candace. Okay. Let's get into what we know about the Charlie Kirk assassination thus far in terms of what the authorities are telling us. First, I just want to toss it to Michael Savage because the energy of this, what Michael Savage had to say about everything that we're hearing is pretty much all of us right now. Take a listen.
The so-called FBI, something's wrong. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm risking an awful lot to go up against this FBI, the MAGA FBI. Something's very wrong with what I just heard. I mean, I watched it. I was hoping that they had caught the bastard who shot Charlie. So we saw a video of a person jumping off the roof. It looked very legitimate to me. However, there was no rifle in his hand. Now, the Mauser does not break down very easily, incidentally, for those of you who know weapons. Something's wrong with the whole thing. They're trying to claim he removed the barrel from the Mauser and fit the receiver and stock in his backpack and barrel in his pants leg all in 2 seconds. It is not easy to remove a Mauser barrel or index it after reinstalling and remain accurate. We are not hearing or seeing reality. And by the way, the photo of the rifle allegedly left in the woods has the barrel installed. So we're supposed to believe a guy is on the run after killing Charlie Kirk, and he pauses in the woods to reinstall a barrel, and then he leaves it for us to find, the FBI to find. I don't believe a word of it. I shouldn't do this. I know I'm putting myself at risk, but I can't take it anymore. I can't take the bullshit from this fucking government. It's lying to us. Something's wrong. Something's so wrong. It's sickening.
Sickening is definitely the right adjective, I think, to describe how a lot of us are feeling. And all I know how to do is to gather information, to research, and to investigate. And nothing is making sense. Now, it could not be making sense because we've not arrived at the conclusion. The FBI, I will say, has recently come out and said they're looking for another person. Good, because what we have so far obviously cannot be it. I feel, I was insisting that everybody read that book, Chaos, about the Charles Manson murders. And what we learn from that book is that if the government does want to hide something, what they do is they give you so much information that you can't, you don't even know what's real. So many different possible ways that things could have gone down, so many different manners, so many people speaking, so many publications publishing. And it's just meant to be chaotic, to drive you crazy and to just go, okay, I'm just going to accept whenever the authority says something and not prod any further. We can't allow that to happen here. I won't allow that to happen here because this something terrible has traumatized the world, okay? And I feel as though when it comes to this, the media, the government, the talking heads, everyone is confusing us about what actually took place with Charlie Kirk, this event, how it got set up. I even would like to know who picked the venue, okay? Here is what we know thus far, and I will tell you who the exact source is and what video they presented. So the first bit of proof regarding that day happened at 8:07 a.m. According to TMZ, they have footage, and we're going to show you it, which shows a man at 8:07 a.m., so hours before the shooting, wearing a maroon t-shirt and light shorts, as you were seeing on your screen right now, hands in his pockets, that is just walking outside of university grounds, okay?
Starting a fashion brand shouldn't feel impossible. Other print-on-demand platforms.
Now, Governor Cox
This will be the
tells
only thing
us
I hate about
that
this part,
at 8:29,
the ads are gonna
which is
show
an
up.
interesting timeline, Governor Cox tells us that that is when the shooter, Tyler Robinson, arrived at UVU campus in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, and a black hat with a white logo. So essentially, he's saying that what that person we saw walking down the street right there arrived on campus at 8:29. I'm going to allow you to hear Governor Cox say that himself. Take a listen.
Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes.
So what's interesting, already confusing to me, is that TMZ shows him already walking. We're supposed to believe he walked, parked his car, and then walked onto campus. They're saying that after that video that you just saw of him walking, he got into his car and then drove to campus, and then at 8:29 p.m. on campus is when he arrives. Already confusing, but let's just keep going. We don't need to poke holes. Let's just keep going with the narrative. Then we're back to TMZ, and they release that at 11:49 a.m., they have footage of the shooter who has now changed his outfit. We're supposed to gather that, again, on a doorbell cam, and he's in a different outfit. So this is 11:49 a.m. Charlie Kirk has not yet been shot. Take a look at this. Okay, and for those of you that are listening to this on audio, you are going to see someone who appears to be limping, okay? So maybe he changed his outfit at some point and now he's limping. And the idea that we're seeing floated is that he's limping because he's holding the gun in his pants, okay? That's kind of what's been floated, okay? That has not particularly come from the feds. I don't believe so, but he's limping now and he's got on a different outfit. Okay. 11:52 a.m., and we were actually going to check this, by the way, but I think that we had the FBI say that was when he arrived on campus. Maybe that's not accurate. But so let me just skip off of that because, Skylar, we should actually look to research that. But at 12:23 p.m. is when Charlie Kirk is shot, okay? And 12:23 p.m. is when in that same minute is when we have footage that shows us that as the crowd ducks, and it's blurry, the shooter runs across the rooftop. I'm going to tell you why that's significant. So 12:23, Charlie Kirk is shot, and we are going to have an angle of that and the image of the black person in black rather, that is running across the rooftop. Take a look at this. They're down, clearly. And right away, look at that, okay? And we have another, so the footage shows us, there's another actually clip that I was looking for, Skylar, there, that it actually shows him running across the rooftop. You guys may have seen it. The reason why that footage is problematic, as you start to see them ducking and then you see the shooter immediately start moving across the rooftop, is that their narrative is that he disassembled the gun and then started running. So that's a bit confusing to us of how he was able to do that so quickly. An unbelievable amount of hunters, guns, people that reached out to me and said, that just didn't happen. They have, exactly as Michael said, That did not happen. There is no way that happened. That cannot be accurate. Then, and this is obviously the craziest part of everything, we have Decoy Boy, right? So it happens and suddenly this guy, George Zinn, gets arrested. He's making noise. He's signaling that he's somehow shot the guy. And at 12:52, it gets announced that the suspect is in custody. So nobody needs to look around anymore because this suspect is in custody. But actually, I guess George Zinn just does that. He just does that, I guess, like just wants people to think he's done something but he hasn't actually done anything. That, again, to me feels like he's a decoy, like more people are involved in this. And I will say that. We don't know, but we know that something's wrong with this. Then at 12:29 p.m., we have TMZ showing us that there's a person running through the backyard. They are saying this appears to be the suspect running. Okay, now we're going to show you that clip. It is very grainy. So they're alleging that that's him. We couldn't confirm that, and the feds have not confirmed that. But it does show you that someone's running across the back. Again, that's at 12:29 p.m.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. First up, let's talk about...
I don't know. We don't know. I'll give you some other facts that you should probably know just in general that has been thus far confirmed. The weapon, they say, was found in the woods and it was wrapped by a dark towel. Okay, now, when they gave us a photo of that weapon, it was fully assembled. So this is kind of what Michael Savage is saying. He's saying, okay, so then they reassembled it, or maybe the feds did. Maybe they're going to clarify that they reassembled it for a photograph, but we are told that it was found wrapped in a dark towel. Then we have been told that a screwdriver was found on the roof. So they're sticking to this implication that he perhaps undid this gun while he was on the rooftop, and he, wanted to make sure he unscrewed it with the screwdriver, left the screwdriver behind, but took the gun, but then left the gun in the woods. Okay. Then we get, and this has not been contextualized, and I can't wait until it is contextualized, we get photos that are the shooter. This is when the FBI came out and said he's in a stairwell. We don't know exactly where that stairwell is. He's in outfit number 2. So the outfit change has happened, okay? There's no timeline again, but we can discern that there is no weapon that is in his pant leg because we can see him bending one leg in one photo and we can see him bending the other leg in another photo. So we're unclear about this. What is clear is that there is a ton of cameras on this campus. There is a lot of footage that they could release to make the public feel better about this. I mean, tons of different angles. I don't know why we're getting grainy shots at all. There have been tons of people online going through the tech stack of UVU campus and saying like, hey, why are we getting grainy? Why don't you give us clearer images? In fact, you guys could show us an image here, 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 here. They're not doing that. They're just going with this like grainy image and saying that's it. And you can get this grainy image, but we can't tell you much more. Now, again, it's an open investigation. They're under a lot of pressure. There is no question. I'm certainly not going to let this go. And I want the public to not let this go because you were spiritually impacted by watching a man be publicly executed. And you need to keep that energy and understand that something is very wrong here. Nothing they are saying feels good to me. Honestly, the thing that they said that felt the best to me is when they said that there's probably somebody else involved. That sounds about right. 2 people, maybe these aren't even the same people. Maybe the guy in the maroon is not the same as the guy in the black shirt. That would make sense because why change your outfit? Both of these look like you would blend in on a college campus. So why are you blending in twice? Does that make any sense to you? Why would you change your outfit? It's just like a random fashion show while you're going to murder someone. I just want to change my outfit for funsies. And then we hear that Tyler Robinson, when he is apprehended, it is communicated to us that he is wearing the maroon outfit. Now, I want to be clear. They said this was 33 hours later. So he changed his outfit I mean, ostensibly because he wants to avoid detection would be the only thing that's I think is reasonable to assume. But then he changes back into the outfit that he was wearing before the shooting. For what reason? 33 hours later, like no shower time. He just wanted them to know that it was him on the camera. That's not clear to me. Why are we changing outfits? Are we just two different people? I think it's reasonable to ask that question. Are there two different people that are involved? Another thing that's not clear to me is that the story that we were told was that Tyler Robinson allegedly, after speaking with the pastor, his dad turned him in. Bill Ackman put up $1 million, right? Thanks, Bill. You really cared about Charlie. And that money is now going to the father of this child who, after prayer and speaking to a pastor, they're saying, okay, well, he turned himself in. That we were told he turned himself in. Now we're being told that actually he hasn't confessed. So I'm just wondering, how do you turn yourself in without confessing? Because if I say my kid did it, that's enough for an arrest? What if the kid says he didn't do it? I didn't do it. Dad says you did. Okay, how did they arrest him without a confession? I'm going to show you Governor Cox's statement where he says that the kid is not confessed. Take a listen.
I know you heard that report by Matt Gutman and this latest reporting in the New York Times that some of the suspects' acquaintances were allegedly talking to him online and joking and thought they recognized him from those early photos. Can you tell us anything about that this morning or anything further on the investigation?
Well, all we can confirm is that those conversations definitely were happening, and they did not believe it was actually him. It was all joking until he admitted that it actually was him.
And anything new on the investigation? You say he admitted that, confessed?
You're the person with the gun, the person who would do anything to protect the ones you love. But did you know that you could go to jail?
No, not again. He is not confessed to authorities. He is not cooperating. But all the people around him are cooperating, and I think that's very important. There were reports yesterday that we can confirm that his roommate was indeed a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female. That's information that the FBI had.
That's crazy how they even threw that in there. That's crazy how they said that he was a gay and dating a transgender. Like, look at even the narratives that they're even putting into the profile of this killer. All things that supposedly Trump and the administration are against.
Had mentioned yesterday, we can confirm that as well, and that he is cooperating with authorities as well.
Okay, so I'm just not entirely clear on this confession element. Did the pastor just say he did it? Did the father say he did it, but they didn't have any proof? Again, this is obviously everyone's investigating. We yield to them. Do I think this kid was involved somehow? Yeah. Do I think he did this alone? Absolutely not. The story makes entirely no sense. And then there's this random discord over Discord. Okay. So Governor Cox came out and told us that there were messages about the rifle drop point. Okay. Discord says not the same thing. Let's listen to Governor Cox say that on this social media app, Discord, they were discussing the rifle drop point. Take a listen.
Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact, Tyler, also mentioned that he had changed outfits.
Okay. So he changed outfits. Again, unclear why he did that. Unclear why he would then put the outfit back on 33 hours later. Most people just like shower within that time. I did receive contact from one of Tyler Robinson's classmates, and they said that that was the strangest part to them. They told me that that was the strangest part, the 33-hour putting on an outfit that he had on 33 hours early, because they described him as remarkably tidy. He was a tidy individual. So they that flagged them as weird. Just seems like a little extra work. Again, unnecessary, right? Completely unnecessary. You're getting nothing out of changing your outfit. We have a statement from Discord, which kind of disputes that. Discord says, in the course of our investigation, we identified a Discord account associated with the suspect, but have found no evidence that the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord, a spokesperson said in the statement. Again, maybe they need more time, and they're going to get more time. They're going to get a lot of time, because it will be never that I let this go. It will be absolutely never that I let this go. Everything just spiritually feels very wrong here. Yeah. It feels like we are being lied to by who? I'm not sure. Are there some good guys? Of course, there's always good guys in government, but there are too many bad guys in government for me to feel good about this. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are obviously going to continue to follow this, to tighten up this timeline with the most up-to-date information that we can possibly have, everything that we could possibly learn about the father that is involved in this. I want to know more about the father. He's being described as a hero. He turned his son in. Okay, I don't trust anything right now. Okay, I trust absolutely nothing. I think everyone needs to be investigated. Every person that is even mentioned should be investigated. We have a right to do that, and we're going to continue to do that. All right, guys, before I get into some of your comments, I want to remind you guys.
Okay, so as y'all saw beforehand, the pod had interrupted. The internet had to shut down for real quick. I don't know what happened. It just went out on me. So I'm going to actually end it, and I'm going to put this pod together from when it clipped out. And I'm going to see you guys back here tomorrow, and we'll do a full one. And hopefully this, I watched Docs, what's going on? I'm sorry this happened to us, brother. And we'll do another full one. And I'm going to start off from where I was going to start off with Nisi. I should say, well, I was going to lastly go with Nisi Social, I should say. But yeah, I don't know what happened, and I don't like how it seems like they're watching again. So I'm going to end the pod there. And see you guys tomorrow.
They say you took something that belonged to them, and man, they gon' kick your white ass.
Imposter, I'm just a middle-class worker from Toronto. In spite of how I sound, single one platinum bigger than Marley and Jimmy and Yellowman, but I'm not even mulatto. My reggae's watered down. Hear me on the radio, think I could not be blacker, but on my video you see I'm really a cracker, pretending I was a Rasta since I was in jammies. I should pay my face and start belting out Mary. You can criticize me all the way to the bank. My single's #1 and Shabba don't rank. Time Warner kick Dicey off the label, put this in the cops. They said it just ain't right. But when a Caucasian man records a Cupping song, they don't have a problem. Must be an oversight. All the Jamaicans think I gave them a bum scare, but everything I know I learned from an auctioneer. The bidding started 7 for this here go gang. 8 do I hear 8, 9, who'll give me 10? I got 10 going once, going twice sold. I can spout gibberish and it'll go gold. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. A skilly button, dip up the bow. Day-o, bizade, 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 bizade. I'm rapping your songs with the best of my ability. You need a black man to
to increase the credibility. When put on the spot, I side with the roster, cause Sean ain't down with no imposter.
Imposter, like Vanilla Ice, the people are sick of me. They put my boom boom down in 4 months. My butt'll be back in Canada working a day job with a burger crown. Would you like fries with that? A hot apple pie with that?
Just drive around now. Blue top. Cool running. Ah! Hey man, you wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you, man? I'm warning you, man. I shot the sheriff. Exodus. Oh, now.
Yeah, they said that I sell my soul. Should I just tell them the truth?
She sold it for a double cheeseburger with mac sauce.
With extra onions on it, baby. Don't play. It's time for me to just keep it 100 with y'all. Like, yes, they got me in this shit. I don't know. I can't get out of it. I'm getting too much money. I don't want to get out of it. That's what y'all wanted to hear. Now I'm saying it. We just left this Hollywood party, baby. This Balenciaga party. Bring me Balenciaga himself.
Bring me Lewis himself.
Many men wish death upon me. And niggas trying to take my life. Kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me. For fucking with me. Better watch how you talk. When you talk about me, I'll come and take your heart away.
No. What it is you really do.
Kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me.